What's up, guys? Chapter 11 with Week 9 NFL Pick'ems. I'm Keller. With me, always, I have Matt and Lupo.
How you doing?
The overall records for the season so far is Lupo coming up from the bottom. Now he's here at 75 and 47.
Yeah, buddy.
What a turnaround. Matt in second, 73 and 49.
Sucks.
And then I'm at 72 and 50. Still very close.
Sucks.
Still very close. Got plenty of games left. So anyone can win at this point.
Just like the Jets.
I have the lead.
Yes.
I was down by like 10 games, and now I am in first.
That's right. So let's get
Say it again.
Lupo's in first.
Thank you.
So let's get it started with Thursday, November 4th. The first game of the week will be the New York Jets versus the Indianapolis Colts. The Jets, what a turnaround with Mike White. Holy.
Yeah.
No one saw that coming, beating a good Bengals team. However, the only upside is bye-bye Zach Wilson. You're probably lost your starting role if this guy, I mean, he threw 2 picks, but if he plays like that, 400 yards, first career start against a good Bengals team. If he played against a crappier team, you could shake your head like you are now, but he played a good team.
He's not losing his job. Zach, you don't draft a guy second overall and then not start him when he's healthy.
Listen, I don't care who you are. A smart person would at least, okay, maybe not, you're not going to just completely bench Zach Wilson, but you're going to have a quarterback duel now. You're going to have, this guy has going to have an opportunity to earn his spot.
It's one game. Taylor Heineke.
Okay, and he's the starter now.
Well, yeah, because no one else is there. And
What do you think? If
was hurt,
Fitzpatrick came back, was healthy this week, do you think he starts?
they would definitely find out in camp. And
So you're thinking about it.
His
That's all I
nickname
need.
was Fitzmagic.
That's all I need.
I think
How
Fitzpatrick
can you not
would
go
start.
with Magic?
All right. Fair enough. Anyways, let's get into it. Matt, since you're coming at me, why don't you go first then?
So, yeah, just like Lupo, the Jets pulled off an unexpected victory. Jets are not in first place, but Lupo is, so golf clap.
Yeah, golf clap. Hi-yo.
But yeah, the Jets pulled out a very, very unexpected win. There's a controversial call at the end of the game, but a win is a win is a win is a win.
True.
Good job, New York. And Michael Carter played great. Their running back who killed it receiving and rushing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, on the ground, 15 carries for 77 yards and a touchdown. Through the air, 9 receptions for 95 yards, no touchdowns, but 5 yards short of 100 yards. Played an outstanding game. And they're going against a tough Colts team that lost in overtime to the Titans. Which, did they? We would have to check. I think they lost in overtime to the Titans in their first meetup. I think. If they played twice this season. I feel like they played twice already.
This year.
Yeah, way more than usual.
Yeah, Carson Wentz, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Thanks, Vegas.
He, I think he was 4th all-time up until this point of most consecutive passes without an interception. So he's finding his groove there. Jonathan Taylor looks great. Pittman looks great. And now I have to make a pick, and I'm going to pick the Colts. I don't think the Jets hold on to this. I think, hey, good momentum going to the game. I don't think they're legit, though. I think the team's just bad overall. And they need to do some improving on both sides of the ball. Passing it to Lupo.
So how long is Zach Wilson out for?
I can let you know.
I'm pretty sure, though, a few weeks.
All right, so
I think 2 to 4.
So Mike White will be starting next week against the Colts.
Unless Joe Flacco does. They traded for him. I don't see why.
Honestly, why
shouldn't
would
start-
you, though?
You should.
Yeah.
Right.
You shouldn't, but he's there.
You're changing too much chemistry up right now.
Well, given that now they got some tape on Mike, and, you know, the Colts, like you said, they went to an overtime battle with Tennessee, who still had Derrick Henry at the time. I got to go with the Colts, man. It's really hard for me to pick the Jets this year because, well, other than last week, you guys looked abysmal. Not as bad as the Jaguars, but...
Fair enough. I'm also going to go with the Colts. I think the Jets... my Bengals. How did you lose to the Jets? But
yeah,
I think
Sunday.
I think it was,
True.
As Matt always likes to call it, they had no tape on Mike White. I'll just let it roll with that and let it end there. So I'm just going to take the Colts. The Jets aren't going to win. So Sunday, November 7th, 1 o'clock. Browns.
First 1 o'clock game.
Bengals. Yes, first 1 o'clock game.
That's actually sounds like a really good game, to be honest.
Listen, just a quick heads up.
It's gonna suck.
No. Quick heads up. Kareem Hunt is still out. OBJ seems to have drama with Baker Mayfield not throwing him the ball. Last week was the first time Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, and OBJ were all on the field together, and they only had 10 points.
Yep.
Obviously, without Kareem Hunt, that rushing duo took a big hit. With all that being said, I know the Bengals lost to the Jets, but I'm still taking my Bengals.
That was a fluke.
Yes, I'm still going with my
definitely a
Bengals
fluke.
team. I'm starting it off. I haven't done this in a while.
You never do it.
Well, guess what? I just did. Mic drop.
Boom.
Please don't drop the microphone.
Bengals.
thing
I'm
costs some
taking the
money.
Bengals just because that's my team. I don't like the Browns. I feel like they're starting to fall apart with all this injuries and drama. So
Didn't you order a Baker Mayfield jersey?
hell no, I would never order his jersey, especially with all his dumb commercials and he plays.
I actually like his commercials.
Yeah, they're funny.
You know what I'm tired of seeing on commercials? Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I watched the game last night. It was literally Patrick Mahomes commercial, Dak Prescott Sleepy's commercial. Patrick Mahomes commercial, Dak Prescott Sleepy commercial. I'm
And
like,
listen,
Jesus
all that is
Christ.
going to Patty Mahomes' head, but we'll get to that when
Yeah,
we get
we'll
to
get
the
to that.
Chiefs. So, Lupo, you go next. Who are you taking in this?
I will not pick the Browns. And like I said, last week was a fluke with with the Jets beating the Bengals, which, they only lost by 3 points, but I still feel like they're a strong
They
team.
finished strong.
They did finish strong, but, the Bengals are still a strong team. They got the Joe brothers still killing it. And the one game that I seen when they played the Ravens, man, that was dominant, man.
They
that
play
was some
like that
dominant.
every week.
Yeah.
That they're
I
contenders.
told you, last week was a fluke. Maybe they just felt bad for the Jets, and they're like, we could take a loss. So, I'm definitely going to pick the Bengals on this one.
Yeah, give me Team 3J as well. I'm going to take the Bengals. The Browns, I still have faith in them, just not in this game. I'm going to take the Bengals. I think they're a better team.
The next game will be the Broncos versus the Cowboys. Broncos are just hit or miss now. 4-4. Played good defensively. Justin Simmons with 2 picks.
Cowboys,
Cowboys.
I told you about him in the beginning of the
Cooper
season.
Rush started last week and kept the Cowboys
In
with
contention.
only 1 loss for the year so far.
To the GOAT.
Parson. Matt, I'll let you start. Who you taking, and obviously touch on your boy, Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I'm going to go with the Cowboys. I do think Denver stands a shot just because they're very inconsistent and to a fault. And sometimes they are terrible, sometimes they're good. But I think the Cowboys will probably get Dak back this week. It looked like he looked pretty healthy on the sidelines. I don't think the Broncos can really keep up with that offense when it starts cooking, but we'll see what happens. And then Micah Parsons, yeah, he's just been a stud all year. They've moved him all around the field, and he's
And
just
can
playing.
make plays in every position.
He's been playing unbelievably, looking like the defensive rookie of the year. So
Absolutely.
not official yet, but start getting the award ready for him.
Yeah. You might as well stamp the name on it now. Yeah, the Broncos pulled out a win over the Washington Redskins to all our disbeliefs because we all picked Washington. Oh, crap. I meant the Washington football team. You guys really got to pick a name.
Yeah.
Dallas looks amazing. Cooper Rush came in as the relief and absolutely killed it. It was a beautiful touchdown pass to win the game to Amari Cooper, I believe. Zeke and Tony, they kind of shut you guys down a little bit last week, but it's okay. I feel like you guys will bounce back this week. Micah Parsons, keep balling out, bro. I hope you win that award. And Trayvon Diggs, my condolences for breaking that streak. But I still feel that you will get, at the very least, 10 interceptions by the end of the season.
I agree. Also, I'm taking the Cowboys as well. Just a quick side note. The Broncos. Von Miller.
Yeah.
He's
I
gone.
don't know. Let's
US
talk about that.
ambassador.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just
Let's
simply saying.
go into that fully when we go to the Rams.
He's
because it's not
gone.
even fair.
So keep that in mind. If you really think about taking the Broncos, just keep in mind that Von Miller is no longer there.
It's going to be weird seeing him in a Rams jersey, though. Not going to lie.
Yeah. Well, like Lupo said, we'll get to that when we get to the Rams, which is much, much later. But let's keep this one short because the Broncos are inconsistent and have Ronald Darby. So, Cowboys.
Good call. Cowboys.
Cowboys suck.
Lupo, What game is next? That's right. The Texans versus the Dolphins. The toilet game of the week.
This is a full flush game.
Yes, it is really garbage. I don't even want to get too crazy.
Garbage is an understatement.
Houston and Miami, both 1-7. Oh, God, terrible. Tyrod Taylor is day-to-day, so keep
like
that
it
in
matters.
mind. I don't really think that matters too much. I'm just going to go and start off. I'm taking the Dolphins because the Texans just, I don't know. Brandon Cooks, like Matt says most weeks, is their only upside. 6 receptions for 83 yards and their touchdown. But I don't know. I just don't feel confident in the Texans. Maybe be an interesting game if Tyrod Taylor does play, but I'm still just going to go with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Dolphins, too. This game's going to be terrible. I'm not looking forward to it. Deshaun Watson did not get traded. Today that we're recording is the trade deadline. So he will be with the team going forward this season. Don't know what that means. No one really knows what it means, but just a note to put on it. But talking about this week, I think Miami wins. And I think Tua has a pretty strong game. I think you're going to see a lot of Jalen Waddle.
I really want to pick the Miami Dolphins, but I really don't want to join the group. So I'm going to be the oddball out, and I'm going to call this my upset. I'm going to pick the Houston Texans.
Okay.
Thought for sure you were going to pick a tie.
I'm not feeling a tie on this one. They both suck, so somebody's got to win.
Before we move on to the next game, just a quick question. Do you think Deshaun Watson plays at all this year?
No. Nope. I think his year's over.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, bye.
Up next is the Falcons versus the Saints. Taysom Hill is looking at this time to possibly start for the Saints this weekend. Falcons, Calvin Ridley, last minute for personal reasons didn't play. I don't really think that mattered because Matt Ryan got nothing going, only 146 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Kyle Pitts, the number 1 guy for the last few weeks, did absolutely nothing, only 2 catches for 13 yards. Jameis Winston, torn ACL, done.
For the season.
Yeah. So let's get it going.
Rough.
Matt, who are you going to take this week?
I am going to take the Taysom Hill-led Saints. Even if he doesn't play, I'll take Trevor Siemian-led Saints. I think Sean Payton's just going to completely out-coach this game. I don't like the Falcons. I don't think they're much to watch. They're super hot and cold. And then to go on what you were saying about Calvin Ridley, it sounds like he's going to be out for an extended period of time, dealing with some personal issues. Yeah, I just think the Saints are a better overall team. I expect a heavy dose of Alvin Kamara. And I expect a very, very strong run game if Taysom Hill is in there. I can't speak today. Mm-hmm. So, on that note, I'm going to pass it to Lupo.
I can't pick the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, Matt Ryan, you look abysmal this year. Mainly, I'm picking the Saints. I know, with the Jameis injury and possibly Taysom Hill might be starting next week. Or even if it's Trevor Siemian, I still have more faith in them than Matt Ryan. But I'm basically going to pick the Saints mainly because of their defense. Yes, they gave up 4 touchdowns. Yesterday? Or Monday?
They played Sunday.
Or Sunday, I'm sorry, Sunday. But it was against Tom Brady, who has a bunch of weapons on offense. So, and they had 2 picks, and 1 was a game winner. So, it's hard to pick against them. I'm going to have to go with the Saints.
Did you guys see Matt Ryan's non-throwing hand, too? He got stepped on by
dude, that looked bad.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's got to be paid. That man was like 300 pounds.
Yeah.
That had to hurt. I feel bad for him.
Even though it's not your throwing hand, that's
still
could play a factor.
Imagine having your heartbeat in your hand constantly.
Especially like taking the snap and all, too.
Yeah.
Hands. Yep. So watch out for that. That could be big.
Yeah, regardless of his hand being messed up or not, I am not taking the Falcons. I'm going to take the Saints. I love Taysom Hill. I love that he is a Swiss Army knife. Yes. He can literally play wide receiver. He can play running back. He can play quarterback.
I want to see him play safety.
Yeah, he could. I'm sure
I
he could
guarantee he could play safety.
He probably could. But yes, I am taking the Saints. I think that Matt kind of mentioned it. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Read option, RPOs. Throw that in there. But that being said, Saints. Okay, so the next game is the Raiders, who had a bye, versus the New York Giants, who played, I guess, decently against a Kansas City Chiefs team.
They shot themselves in the foot to lose that game,
Yes.
to be honest.
The Raiders, just a little bit more outside stuff going on, so I don't keep that in mind while the game is going on. They're just having a really rough season with outside stuff, so keep that in mind. Matt, start us off. Who are you going to take with this game?
I'm going to take the Raiders. The Giants played a good game against the Chiefs, who have just been ultra inconsistent. So I don't know if the Giants played a close game or if the Chiefs were just kind of not the Chiefs, which
I feel
it looks
like
like
that's the trend this year.
Yeah. I didn't know that John Ross was on the Giants until literally just now, but he had a pretty good game. He was the, I think he broke Chris Johnson's 40 time, and he won an island or something from Adidas, which is pretty impressive in the combine. But outside of that, he's had a quiet NFL career, and yeah, I think the Raiders coming off the bye, they're going to come back a little bit healed up for any of the players that were nursing injuries or anything like that. Derek Carr is still playing great and all that, so I think the Raiders take this one.
I can't pick the Giants mainly because you have no Saquon and your top 4 receivers are injured. I don't know if if all 4 of them are going to be injured for next week, but after what was it, yesterday's game?
Yeah, they played Monday.
After yesterday's game, the Giants really took a really big hit into the receiving core. 4 starters are out. Also, penalty-wise, you guys really need to work on your discipline. You shot yourselves in the foot in the fourth quarter with an offsides call when it was a game-winning interception that, the Giants could have taken the ball over and probably ran out the clock. And then that stupid taunting penalty, you make it a catch. You stumble, you keep upright for a first down, and what do? You shoot yourself in the foot with a taunting penalty. That stuff needs to go. So, I'm going to pick the Las Vegas Raiders because you guys just look like a better team.
I'm taking the Raiders also. The Giants, the trend of the year, shoot themselves in the foot, like Lupo said. I couldn't agree more. So yeah, just sweet, nice and sweet. I'm taking the Raiders. Up next, Patriots versus the Panthers. Patriots look good some weeks, but that's the trend for the year. A lot of teams look good one week and look terrible the next. Panthers in the same boat. They're both 4-4. So let's jump into it. Lupo, who are you taking in this one?
Patriots. I can't put my faith in Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers, but I will put my faith in Mac Jones, Bill Belichick, and that defense. So, I forgot they have Nelson Aguilar. Just don't throw to him.
I'm going to go Patriots too. Bill Belichick knows Sam Darnold very well from playing for the Jets. And I think he's got his number. Don't think there's much to see here. Going to be more of the same with the Panthers. Just not that great. Strong start. I don't know. Both teams are inconsistent, but yeah, I'm going Patriots. Damian Harris, shout out to you for your 23 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown on the ground.
Boom.
Glad to see you've been cooking again.
I'm taking the Patriots too. Just one quick shout out to Mac Jones, who in the beginning of this year we talked about a lot of the rookies. Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, blah blah blah. Mac Jones seeming to be the better out of that group.
Yeah.
So he looks to be the only one who's actually progressing better and better each week. So with that being said, I will go with Mac Jones, Bill Belichick, and the Patriots.
You're still in my lines.
The following game will be the Bills versus the Jaguars. The Bills didn't start off too strong against Miami, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. 16 points in the fourth quarter wins you the game. I'm taking the Bills. I went with the Jags last week and just shot out of the...
I don't know why.
Yeah. Just a shot out there just to hopefully, get an upset. I didn't get it, and I'm not going to make that mistake again. God, if they win, I'm going to bash my head on
not
this
going to
desk.
win.
Yeah, but I'm going with the Bills. Lupo?
I'm also going to take the Bills. That defense is incredible. Stephon Diggs, you only have 40 yards, but you did score, which is good. I really cannot put my faith in Jacksonville. It's like if you and the Texans were to play, I still don't think I would pick you.
That was week 1, I think, right?
Was it?
Nah, wasn't it the Texans and the Broncos?
I thought week 1 was Texas.
I can't
Texans,
remember
Jags,
yesterday.
and I don't know.
I don't remember.
I'll
It was a long time ago.
But yeah, I can't go with Jacksonville. So Buffalo all day.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Buffalo. I think Jacksonville's doing a great job staying competitive for the first overall pick in the draft. They're not doing a good job staying competitive for making a playoff run or anything of that
I
sort.
wondering where you're going with that.
Bills by, I won't say a million, but 500,000.
Also, just quick shout out to the Jaguars. They are going to be missing James Robinson, who hurt his ankle, his foot.
It wouldn't make a difference.
Well, he's...
No.
You got Carlos Hyde, so...
They might get an extra 40 yards out of him, but that's it. I don't see him changing the time.
Nah, they're still going to lose, but
Exactly, that's what I mean.
James Robinson
It's not like he's Randy Moss.
was a big part of that Jacksonville rushing. He did get it going in the last few games, but that will be
He's
that.
not Barry Sanders.
And week 1, the Texans did beat the Jags 37-21. And
See?
Tyrod Taylor was the greatest thing on earth until
See?
he wasn't.
I told
Okay,
you.
bye!
Even if they played the Texans, I still wouldn't pick you.
Following that is going to be the Vikings versus the Ravens. The Ravens were on a bye last week. The Vikings, very inconsistent. Again, seems to be the trend this year.
Great game versus Dallas.
I
though.
honestly expected the Vikings to be doing a little bit better than what they are. I called it at the beginning of this year, Kirk Cousins, I don't like you. And every time I say that, he balls out. So maybe, expect a lot from him this game against the Ravens. But last week, only had only 184 yards with 35 passing attempts. That's not great. Dalvin Cook, rushing is good, but doesn't seem to be able to find the end zone. And your defense is with that being said, let's get into the picks. Lupo, start us off.
Part of me really wants to pick the Vikings in this. Like, something deep down inside says, go with Minnesota. But then I look at, Baltimore and all their weapons, Lamar being Lamar. It's hard to really pick because you got Lamar versus Kirk Cousins. Now, if you really had to choose, I think everybody would pick Lamar. So, I'm going to go with John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens.
I'm going to go Ravens, too. I don't like the Vikings just with how they've been playing this year and kind of the past couple years. I know they've had some good playoff runs. They had a couple deep ones. They lost in the NFC Championship game to the Eagles in 2017. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't like the team. I don't think they're good. And that wasn't even a Kirk Cousins-led team then. With Kirk Cousins' loss against the Cowboys in primetime, his new primetime record is 8-17. He is the complete opposite of clutch when it comes to primetime games.
He is
Not
not
that-
Deion Sanders.
No. Not that it impacts this game, but I think the Ravens coming off the bye, similar to what I was saying with the Raiders, had a chance to heal up and kind of get healthy or any lingering soreness, hopefully. That extra week helped, and I'm going to take the Ravens.
I'm taking the Ravens also due to the fact that I like Lamar Jackson a lot more than Kirk Cousins, and that is literally just my go-to answer, and that's all I'm going to say.
You're taking my lines again.
The first 4 o'clock game
Number 1.
O'clock.
will be the Chargers versus the Eagles. The Eagles finally had a rushing game, but it was against a 0-7 Detroit Lions team.
0-8.
Well, they're now currently 0-8, but at the time, 0-7.
You're welcome.
236 total rushing yards between Jalen Hurts, Boston Scott, Jordan Howard, Kenneth Gainwell, and Jalen Reagor, who I believe left with a injury. So now their injury woes are continuing. Keep that in mind. Now, the Chargers coming off, I think, their bye last week, or the week before that, now playing last week, the Patriots lost only by 3. That sucks. But going into this next game, I'm going to take the Chargers just due to the fact that the injuries are really going to hurt the Eagles. Not that Jalen Reagor was their number 1 wide receiver, but, Miles Sanders being out, I don't think you're going to be able to run like that against this Chargers team. I don't care if their defense is bad or not, but The Chargers, I think, are definitely more if I can outscore you, I'll win. And I think they'll outscore the Eagles, so I'm taking the Chargers. Matt?
I'm going to go Chargers. I think the game was a little bit of a fluke against a terrible Lions team. Who, shout out to them in reference to the Jaguars. The Lions are currently leading the league for the first overall pick in the next draft. Yeah, I don't think it's so much the Eagles are great, and it's more of the Lions are bad. But I do like that the running game got going. I think that's very important. I think that's going to be hopefully prominent in this game here. Unless it was a kind of shut the media up by running the ball 46 times. They ran more times in this game probably than all the other games this season. But I think the Chargers are going to outplay them. Justin Herbert, I think he's going to be able to move the ball pretty good. I expect Keenan Allen to have a pretty quiet day. Darius Slay's been playing some lockdown defense. But Mike Williams is going to hurt him, and the rushing attack of Justin Jackson and Austin Eckler is going to be a little bit too much.
I'm going to be the oddball out again.
Go Birds.
And yeah, I'm going to pick the Philadelphia Eagles. I feel that, well, you brought up the rushing attack of Los Angeles, and I feel
fertilize the flowers.
And I feel that our defensive line is going to, I wouldn't say stop it completely, but they're going to keep them from making big plays. At least I hope. If the Eagles keep running the ball the way they did last week, which, like you said, I hope it becomes, more of a permanent thing, and they use Howard more. Jordan Howard, I mean, he's a 6'2", probably like 200-pound running back, if I'm not mistaken. Use him. He's a big dude. He can get you that short yardage. He could even get you big yardage if you need it. Score 2 touchdowns. Defense looked a little bit better, but, I mean, against the Lions, a high school football team will look good against them. So it's not really saying much, but I want to pick another upset for this week and go with the Eagles. Usually I don't start off, but I'm going to start off this time because it is the Packers versus the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm labeling it right now as the State Farm Bowl. Boom.
Boom.
So I'm going to pick first because I'm running the show right now, and I never go first. So don't give me that look. I never go first. All right, sometimes
you
you're
went
right.
first the last three.
All right, sometimes I do. But anyway, you're messing up my intro.
All right, sorry.
So, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Now go home and get your...
Oh, I can't stand you some days. Anyway, the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes still looks somewhat inconsistent. You're making some crazy throws, though, like that one freaking sidearm pass you gave to Tyreek Hill the other day. That was pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. I think people finally figured out a way to really stop Tyreek Hill from, really running around and just running free. But I'm going to have to pick the Green Bay Packers because Aaron Rodgers does look a lot better than Patrick Mahomes. And I really don't see Kansas City pulling out a win here.
You got to protect the ball if you want to win. And the Chiefs are not doing that. Mahomes is going into hero mode, which sometimes works, but right now,
not this year.
No, it's not working for him. He had a pick this game. He had a fumble that he did not lose his fumble, but he had another fumble. Travis Kelce with a very, very rare fumble and lost it. I don't know what's going on in Kansas City, but it's not pretty. And going into a game against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, I don't like their chances. On the flip side, the Packers have done a great job of protecting the ball. I think Rodgers only has 3 picks on the season compared to Mahomes having 10. So I'm going to go with the Packers winning the State Farm Jake trophy of the game.
Cool.
I'm taking the Packers as well due to the fact that we mentioned this. We haven't mentioned it a lot lately, but early in the season, turnovers. It's very hard to win a game when you turn the ball over consistently. Both of these guys mentioned that Patrick Mahomes has been throwing a lot of picks, which is not like him. It's not him. Aaron Rodgers protecting the ball as usual. That is him. Therefore, I will take the Packers. And just a quick shout out to the Packers for winning against the undefeated Cardinals last week. The Packers had some key players missing due to COVID. So, way to pull it together and still get a win. Other than that, Packers.
I don't think it makes a difference, but the Chiefs added Melvin Ingram today before the trade deadline. But that doesn't change my pick at all.
Same.
Aaron Rodgers as John Wick wins.
Fiddle.
Skittle Kittle on the 49ers. Yeah, he's practicing this week, so
Oh my God.
so expect him hopefully soon for the 49ers because boy, they need him. Their rushing game's pretty good, but their main player for the 49ers is Lupo's boy, Deebo Samuel, with 6 catches, $171, no touchdowns though, but still he is second with the most. Yes, Jesus Christ, I can't talk.
Second in the league for receiving yards.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I needed help. I was having a mini stroke again.
Do not turn on closed captions. They will not help.
At all.
The Cardinals, we just spoke about them in the Packers game before this. Their first loss to a team that wasn't even fully there due to COVID and stuff. Are they going to win or lose 2 in a row? No. I'm taking the Cardinals to beat the 49ers. Boom. Matt, go.
Love the rhetorical question. AJ Green just forgot to look for the ball in the end zone to win them that game potentially.
That was such a
that was it was a blown route. Prevented the Cardinals from potentially being 8-0. I don't think they dropped to 7-2. I think it's an 8-1 type of week, beating the 49ers. Like you were touching on, Deebo is really their only weapon. Elijah Mitchell, all right. Yeah, I'm not too worried about the run game. The Cardinals did lose J.J. Watt, though, to surgery.
Yep.
So that's kind of a big deal, but
Sucks for JJ.
I'm still going to take the Cardinals.
I am also going to take the Cardinals. Yeah, you took a loss last week, but, I mean, I feel like it was more of a communication problem that caused that. You guys could have definitely won that game. Even without JJ, you guys still show a lot of promise. San Francisco, I don't know what you guys are doing. Deebo, keep balling out, man. I hope you, get on a better team, I guess. And, yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Cardinals. You guys are just looking way more dominant.
I can't believe Jordan Hicks led that game in tackles. That's crazy.
And we used to have him.
Awesome.
You know what's crazy?
We traded him.
I just want to bring one quick note out about the Cardinals. Remember?
Nope, moving on.
Chandler Jones. Didn't he have
Moving
5
on.
sacks?
You know he was injured for like the last 2 or 3 weeks.
I
right?
understand that, but remember week 1 where he
That's
had
all he had was 5 sacks.
5 sacks. He went off. He has not had a sack since. That's honestly just looks like only 10 solos too.
For anybody that doesn't know, Chandler Jones is the brother of former or current UFC champ John Jones.
I'd be embarrassed, but moving on.
Prime time.
Yeah, depressing prime time for the fact that
this could have been a great game.
The King.
This could have been a really good matchup.
King Henry on the Tennessee Titans. Basically, they're putting a few. Depending on how deep they go, he could return. But after this, we all know Derrick Henry carries that team basically. Without him, their chances of winning and really going anywhere. Yes, exactly. However, they did sign Adrian Peterson, one of my favorite running backs of all time. Yes, the dude is a beast. I'm happy to see that he's going to get time to play.
AP2K, baby.
But unfortunately,
he is severely overrated.
Yeah, unfortunately, it came to a bad reason of Derrick Henry being injured. Now, moving on to the other side of the ball, Cooper Kupp.
Boom.
That guy is leading the league in receiving
yards
and touchdowns.
And
touchdowns.
The dude is
maybe receptions,
going
maybe anything that has to do with catching a ball.
Before we get into the picks, I just wanted to say, do you guys remember when Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods would always battle for that number 1 spot?
Yeah.
I think it's clearly Cooper
Kupp.
Kupp's team, wide receiving team now.
Robert Woods was the better receiver in my opinion last year too, which is mind-boggling now.
Dude had a, what's it called? Improvement of the year type award.
Comeback player? No, not comeback
not
player.
No, improved player.
Like
most
MIP?
improved player. Yeah.
I just wonder how many like ultra caliber wide receivers like Cooper Kupp season right now are out there with bad quarterbacks.
True.
Like who's
Deebo
out
Samuel.
there? Yeah, could you imagine him with someone who knew how to play football?
Like Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Oh
like
my
just
God.
think of the receivers out. Like I don't know. Your random guys like Allen Robinson on the Bears.
But
could
that
be so
being
much better
said,
too.
though, I feel like it's also a double-edged sword. Like it go either way. For example, Deebo looking great but he's on a bad team. There's no
Yeah.
one, like, it's obviously going to go to him. Put him on a team where, like you said, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, where you have Devontae Adams on the other side, he's clearly not going to look as great as he does.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
we've seen that
you know,
over the years.
keep that in mind. Now,
Yeah,
let's get
like-
into... I'm sorry, what did you say?
It was like Juju Smith-Schuster and Antonio Brown.
Brown.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Same concept.
So,
On to this game.
yeah, so the Titans and the Rams, prime time, not too crazy, unfortunately, because, you know, this would have been a great game, but unfortunately with injuries, you know, Julio, where are you at? Derrick Henry,
Non-existent.
he's out.
Yep.
You know, you're getting Adrian
well soon,
Peterson,
bro.
but he's, you know, he's not in his prime anymore. And the Rams are just looking to keep on cooking, so...
And the addition of Von Miller.
Exactly. Yeah,
We
we were going to
talked
bring that
about
up at this time. Von Miller has been traded. Broncos, you now on the Rams. Could you... Oh, my God. Aaron Donald
And Von Miller.
and Von Miller coming at you. I'd be scared. And then, you know, don't forget, Jalen Ramsey's back there hiding, ready to jump on the ball and pick six. You're at... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he pretty much shuts down one side of the field for him.
Well, I know this year he hasn't really been sticking to just
number
covering
one
the
guy.
number one guy. He's been floating around, and that's what I think is doing justice for them, because you can plan, all right, well, if he's going to be on the right side, let's play towards the left.
Left
Now
side.
he's everywhere.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I'm going to go with the Rams. I actually could have, you know, really went with the Titans. They've been on a roll lately, but unfortunately with injuries and, you know, I can't feel confident to have them pull one out against the Rams at home. So, I'm taking the Rams. Lupo?
I think we're all going to take the Rams on this one because, I mean, to be honest, even if Derrick Henry was playing, I think I still would have taken the Rams, mainly because of their offense. I don't feel that Tennessee's defense is good enough to keep up with the Los Angeles Rams offense, so I would have still picked the Rams. And I'd like to point out that I feel like Jalen Ramsey would make an even bigger impact if they moved him to free safety and let him roam the backfield and just go everywhere, cover every receiver, because he has the intangibles to play a safety position. But we'll see. Maybe later on in his career, like a lot of greats, like the Woodsons, both Woodsons did it. They went from cornerback to safety, so maybe that'll happen one day. And Julio Jones should definitely move to defense. But Matt,
I'm going to go with the Rams. Really have nothing
Shocking.
to add to the conversation outside of that. Receiver battle. Look for A.J. Brown versus Cooper Kupp. Both playing great. Cooper Kupp's number one guy in the league right now, though, and I'm taking the Rams.
Rams.
Monday Night Football will be the Bears versus the Steelers.
On ESPN.
Not the greatest Monday Night Football game. That will be on November 8th. Justin Fields. I know. Justin Fields, he's starting to turn it up a little bit as the weeks are going on. He
Didn't have a 6 rating, which is awesome.
he led their team. He led their team in rushing with 103 and a touchdown.
That shows you how abysmal the rushing attack is.
His anyone see his 22-yard scramble to the end
Oh,
zone?
yeah.
That was
Let him run wild.
yeah, he
Matt Nagy's holding him back.
but they still lost. So
Yep, they kind of suck.
Womp, womp, womp.
their wide receiver group.
Poor Allen Robinson, man. They're ruining his career.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's just I don't even
I'm
like
going to
him.
complain
Dolphins
about it
ruin
every week
Raiders.
until it gets better.
Right. And then you
The
go on the other
Lions ruined
side.
Sanders
Yeah.
and Johnson.
Yep. Then you go on the other side with the Steelers, only 15 points. Ben still, I mean, he had, I guess, one of his more decent games, but they just can't find the end zone.
Yeah.
And it's depressing. Anyways, let's get into the picks. Lupo, since you love to say that you never get to go first, why don't you go first?
I meant to say, like, I never go first, as in talking first into the mic.
You never get to open the segment.
Yes. My English ain't great. I only know a few words, honestly.
You've been
so-
closing the last...
even though I speak multiple
How about
languages. But,
Next game. This week, next game, you open the segment.
all right, fine. Next week.
No.
look forward-
This week. After this game.
There is no other games
Exactly.
after this.
Oh!
Burn!
Boom, roasted.
I'm going home.
Okay, start us
I'm
off.
not making
Who are
my
you
pick.
picking?
No, I'm
Or next
leaving.
week. Just do the intro next week.
I'm going to have to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mainly
You've
because
taken the Steelers a lot this year. I think you're the only person who likes taking the Steelers.
they show promise from time to time.
Fair enough.
I'm going Steelers too.
Okay.
Not because Lupo
freaking-
did, just because not a fan of the Bears this week. I think the Steelers are a better coach team. I don't think they're that much better of a team, but there's enough experience that they're going to be able to hold off the inexperienced Bears. And Najee Harris, the rookie running back for the Steelers, looks pretty darn good.
I'm going to take the Steelers. I think their defense is what's obviously keeping them in their games because their offense, they just can't find the end zone. And then you got Justin Fields, who's kind of like a loose cannon right now. You know, he's playing well, but I feel like there's going to be mistakes made, which is going to play into the Steelers' defense. So I'm going to take the Steelers' defense as well. Now, that concludes our Week 9 pick'ems. The bye teams this week are the Lions, the Seahawks, the Bucks, and the Washington football team. Can you guys really pick like a team name, please? It's just stupid.
I think I called them the other name by accident during the segment, and I apologize if I offended anyone, even though I don't know why anybody's offended.
Right. Yeah, so that concludes it.
Week 9.
Yeah, that's Week 9. Stay tuned. Week 10 will obviously be next week. Also, stay tuned for more Back for Blood and other games such as Battlefield, Halo,
and Forza,
Call of Duty. And...
We apologize for not pumping out videos lately. We are busy with regular life due to us having to work full-time jobs.
Yeah.
So
your support will help us push out more videos
we
faster.
are trying our best to push out more videos, but as you know, editing videos does take time, and we're also all still learning, you know, how to master the whole editing
the process.
Yeah, the Premiere Pro and all that stuff, because it's not as easy as people make it seem, but we're getting there. So stay tuned, come along with the journey, and enjoy life.
And happy birthday to anyone's birthday it is.
Yeah, shout out to you guys.
Happy birthday
I'm not singing
to
this.
you.
All right, I'm going home. We're done here.
Happy birthday to you.
Shut up, you losers.
Happy birthday, dear listeners. Happy birthday to you.